I'm doing this on a workout breakdown. Put two workouts side by side for the upcoming week, and I'm going to obviously go over why I made that decision. But on the left-hand side, you've got the 26th. It's a shoulder day. On the right-hand side, you've got the 28th. It is a leg day. And like I said, I'm going to go into obviously the reasons as to why these are side by side. But first, let me go over each one on an individual level. Left-hand side on the 26th, you guys are going to have kind of a block fire here. You're going to do a 1 minute run. You'll perform one set of the push press, go back to the treadmill, another 1 minute run, second set of push press, run, third set of push press. You'll do 4 sets of the push press, and then you'll move down to the high rows. The high rows, the lateral raises, and the Ys are all single leg movements. But again, you'll be following that trend of a 1 minute run, 1 set, repeat 4 times for each labeled exercise, and you'll work your way all the way down to number 6, which is that AMRAP run, under the assumption you get that far. On the right-hand side, you've got, 4 or 5 rounds of just a Metcon. We're going to pick your distance ran, obviously looking to repeat that at the same pace. And then you have the 5 exercises that follow it, and then you go back to the top, obviously, and repeat that. So, all in all, the structure should make sense. I think they're fairly black and white. But the reason I put these two together is because I purposely I separate. I would love for these then to be back to back, but I didn't want you guys to run 2 days in a row this heavily. So the 26th and 28th, it gives us a filler day in the middle there, a gap day from the running, this volume of running. But I put them on the screen side by side because I think a lot of people would do the 26th. I think it's kind of a unique setup. It's a cool setup. Which, again, I think it is really fun. I enjoy those setups quite a bit. But then we get to the 28th, and there will be no connection or correlation to the 26th. And I like full transparency. I've done this 1,000 times over with the programming at Core 4. But these two have the same fundamental modality, like what we're trying to challenge. But we approach them completely different. So the floor emphasis is on both of these, but the structure obviously is completely different, and they're two structures that work just a little bit different, and that's what I wanted to explain as to why we do one way and one the other way. So, I think at first glance, the left-hand side, it's a 60-second run, again, at your floor output, and then you do a 1 set. Obviously, you're going to be ping-ponging a ton. There's a ton of transitional work. It fits right into the floor concept that we've been aiming for. Your ability to hold, up to 70, 75% or as close to it as possible, kind of like that zone 2, teetering on zone 3 type of approach if you have the conditioning to do so. And just keep transitioning at the same pace, kind of unimpeded. Whether it's from the treadmill to the lift or from the lift to the treadmills, you just feel like you're moving smoothly through those exercises and through those 60-second intervals. Whereas on the right-hand side, same concept. Like, we want to move smoothly. We want it to feel like we're transitioning well, unencumbered there. But you're going to be challenged in a completely different sense that, 4, 6, or 800 meter run, you need to have the endurance and the muscular endurance, especially with the 5 exercises to follow, in order to maintain that pace, throughout 4 or 5 rounds. And again, I give you 4 or 5 rounds, so you guys can choose based off of your ability, not necessarily just because you want to do, 8 less minutes of work or whatever these rounds end up being. It is there strictly for you to make that decision based off of your ability, not because of time, technically. But at first glance, I think the left-hand side is undervalued in how challenging it is because it's a 1 minute at a time, whereas the right hand side, people see 600 and 800 meter runs and you instantly think, whoa, that's way further, that's got to be significantly harder. And I think that's completely wrong. Like, the right hand side in this particular setting with the floor concept, I think is way easier than the left hand side in the same setting. So they're both being executed, if the floor concept is being executed appropriately, the left hand side, you just never get a chance for your heart rate to come all the way back down. You should, in theory, never get full composure over your breathing. Like, you should be constantly trying to, obviously it's going to come down and you're going to recoup and recover quite a bit as you transition over. But like, these movements, purposely, we're challenging a lot. So Obviously, the push press, we all know, full body movement requires a lot of force. There's a lot of technicalities to it. You can move a lot of weight if you choose to do so. And just so you know, like the push press, I put 10 to 20. I don't want those to be unbroken. You can do it anyway. So if you want to aim for 20 because you want the volume, you want the practice for push press, I know people enjoy push pressing. You can go down in weight a little bit, or you can load up and maybe do 2 sets of that. But for the rest of them, these single leg movements, like it's really hard. You're focusing on stability. You're focusing on your trunk, your ankles, knees, and hips. There's a lot going on in terms of just balancing yourself out and doing all that. With 1 minute runs sandwiched, before and after the movement is only going to make it that much harder. So, under the assumption you're holding the same percentage on the run, and under the assumption you're treating it like an actual AMRAP, meaning you're running as aggressively as you can under the idea of sustaining that, the amount of runs with exercises that immediately follow, the anaerobic side of this, is going to add up very fast. And I think there's a lot higher chance that people will fail at maintaining their floor output on the left-hand side than there is on the right-hand side. And because, again, the right-hand side, it's a lot easier to regulate. Like, you just have one big run. You can obviously regulate yourself through that, pace yourself with that pretty easily. It's a little more, I think it's a little more novice or easier to consume when it's just one run. And then you can kind of work your way and manipulate your way through these movements, right? Like, it sounds like there's a lot of reps there. But again, 20 goblet squats, you can break those up as you see fit, right? You don't have to fly through them. We're not asking for you to kill yourself with the weight. The alternating front lunges, same concept. Like, you can take a lot of pausing, a lot of breaking at the top of these exercises, or the transitions between these exercises. The bodyweight step-ups give you an opportunity to kind of catch your breath as there's no added load. And then the superset, the deadlifts, and the RDLs. Again, taxing, sure, but same idea. Like, there's not a lot of pressure on you to kind of rip through these as fast as possible. So your opportunity to regain composure on the right-hand side far exceeds that of the left-hand side if these are being done in the way I would like them to be executed. So, again, 2 workouts that are both trying to target the same concept, but structured completely different. And again, I just wanted to put them side by side so you guys can see, like, we can target the same concepts and the same ideas and fundamentals, but we can do it differently. And again, just changing the way and the placement and the distance of those runs changes kind of a lot of how you're going to approach this workout. And there's a lot of you that may succeed a lot more at the left-hand side than the right-hand side, because maybe you just don't have the endurance to do some of these bigger runs and transition into, obviously it's a bunch of leg stuff, so that's going to add up as well, into these movements. And some of you on the left-hand side, it's an easier pill to swallow, knowing that it's only a 1 minute at a time rather than doing, 4, 5, 6 minutes of running, depending on who you are and the distance you choose. So, again, 26th, 28th, I would love for people to do both of these and actually compare them and, like, come back with some level of feedback. Like, again, from my perspective, and I've been writing these for a long time, this is a great, scenario or example of how I can manipulate structures and manipulate placement of things and still achieve the same goal at the end of the day. So anyways, 26th, 28th, hopefully you guys got something from that, and hopefully you guys show up to both of them and you guys can kind of, compare, the parallels between these two.